Hello, and welcome back to Married with Gaming. I'm Mike,
And I'm Jen.
and we're going to go over our game that we played with the OGGM that we broadcast, or he broadcasts on his channel. So let's do it.
So this session was called the Long Road to Sir Bluto's Wife. At the end of the previous session, we had gone a day early to the hostage exchange between Sir Bluto's wife and the counterfeit maps that we were going to exchange for his wife, and had been ambushed by some goblins. So after that ambush was done, we spent the night there, went back into hiding to wait for the exchange to take place. And at the time of the exchange, Sir Bluto was out, and we saw a huge winged shadow come over us, and then a flash of light, and Lord Kasuth appeared with about 8 to 10 goblins. And he had with him...
And that would be the blue dragonborn looking guy.
Yes. And that he also had a woman in chains who was Bluto's wife. So Nurse Honey overnight had gone with Mugumbo, was taking his confession. So we did not have Nurse Honey with us at this time. So Sir Bluto...
I just hid behind a rock. That's pretty much what I did this whole time.
We just kind of watched as the exchange happened with Sir Bluto and Lord Kasuth, and it went off fine. Gave him the maps. They freed the wife. Was all very straightforward. After Lord Kasuth and the goblins had left again, then of course Sir Bluto and
Did she keep the chains? I mean, was that just the chains hers to begin with? What? I don't even know.
I don't think that was discussed. I mean, maybe.
Just walk around chains.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Her name was Cindella. And Bluto and his wife were very grateful to us for helping facilitate the successful hostage freeing. So we kind of questioned her a little bit about anything she heard or saw or knew, and we really didn't get any new information from her other than that the Lord Kasuth was very concerned with finding Belinda's grave and confirming that Skarn was indeed dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of that encounter. So we had a little discussion about what we wanted to do, and we decided that we should resupply and get ourselves up to where the real map location was showing as soon as possible. So we decide to head back to Not Dunkirk to resupply, and on the way back, we have another run-in with a land shark.
Yeah, I just burst through the earth and took the whole jeep at its mouth and started chomp down on it. We bailed out. I remember Captain Landis took a shot, took out its eye, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of like Jango Fett.
Yeah.
And took it out. But he didn't kill it. And so I burst a few spell attack, but it was 44 who was the hero who basically took it out. Right.
And it mangled up the Jeep.
Yeah.
Pretty badly. Surprisingly, still drivable.
It's a WW2 Jeep, so.
So it managed to...
Built.
Yeah.
Tough.
Survive. So we make it back to Not Dunkirk and resupply. Mm-hmm. And then...
Well, I think, we took care of it at the beginning of the game session, but I think that's kind of... I summoned a familiar, and I ended up getting randomly a lion cub, who I promptly named Aslan. And he became part of our little group. Mm-hmm. And
he has quite a little personality.
Much like murderous like most cats, I guess.
Yes, definitely so. So then we have a little resupply montage. At some point, Captain Landis decides that we should put a trailer on the back of the Jeep to carry all the supplies, so we have more room for us to actually be inside the Jeep. So we do that, and we get some information that we're heading north and eventually west. But we get some information that the road directly north, there's a crossroads where there is a fort. So we think that's going to be our kind of stopping place. So we start heading out to the crossroads. So off we go to the Ashen Wastes. David starts out driving. So he is our chauffeur. And much as 44 predicted, we do find that something is following us. So
we pulled over to the side of the road, and I knew that previously 44 kind of has a bit of a kind of has the ability to stealth, or he has stealth quite well. So I decided to add to that, and my cast invisibility on him and let him ambush our pursuer, who turns out to be a goblin.
Who claims he's a gardener. So after a little bit of pressure, he drops the facade and admits that he's working for Lord Kasuth and was kind of spying on us. So we don't really know what to do with him, and we take him prisoner for now and throw him in the Jeep with us under Aslan's threatening gaze, I believe. We head back down on the road. We encounter a...
I'm sure that is exactly how it happened, but all right.
Oh, you don't think so? We head down the road to... Oh, I forgot. Very important. I steal that gardener's sun hat. So now I have a pirate hat and a sun hat in my collection. So I will be Jen of many hats. We do encounter a flail snail, which is a snail the size of a house with 3 flails for heads. We make our way around that, and shortly thereafter, our goblin friend Gardner decides to escape.
Yeah, that's why I said that you were mistaken on our keeping him as a prisoner, because at that point, my familiar kitty cat, after I think they shoot at him, but my cat runs him down and disembowels and eats part of him.
Yeah. He was a happy kitty.
So,
yes. So, and then we pass by, various other things, a flock of ostriches and what have you, until we finally reach the ruins of what looks like an old gate and some watchtowers.
Yeah.
So approaching the watchtowers, we do see what looks to be some figures in at least one of them. And as we pass by, as we get closer, it appears to be skeletal, I guess, watchmen.
Yeah.
One armed with a spear, at least.
And although it's tempting to sidetrack, I think our idea was forward.
Keep going. Right. We didn't want to stop. So as we go through, we realize that the skeletons are animated. They're alive. Or unalive. Undead. So going forward, we have fields on either side of us. And on one side of us, as we drive forward, we see figures coming toward us. And on the other side, we see a different type of figure coming toward us. One side appears to be zombies. The other side appears to be animated, human-like circulatory systems that are just that.
There was something like an undead, but yet it was just the insides, or maybe the outside was invisible. I don't know.
Right. So on one side, I think, because David's still driving, so Roger and 44 are shooting on one side, and then on the other side, I'm casting Flaming Sphere to the circulatory systems, which does wipe them out pretty readily. Nurse Honey suddenly pops back from her encounter with Bagumbo, I guess he was done giving his confession. And she actually uses her wonderful cleric ability to turn some of the zombies. So they are turning away, but we keep taking some pot shots at them as we drive by.
Just decide to book it.
Yeah, we're pretty easily able to outrun them after knocking out a few. Captain Landis takes over driving, and then I drive a little bit through the night, passing some more undead that seem to be herding sheep. And we don't really have any problems throughout the night. We just keep driving through. As the morning is approaching, we're coming near the gates of what looks like the ruins of Fort Bell. It doesn't look like it's inhabited, really. Well, that's not right.
No, it does look inhabited.
Yeah, it does look inhabited.
And so we decide, do we want to engage or try to go around? And we thought we were going to go around.
We thought we'd take a shortcut with Captain Landis driving. And, well, maybe he's not as good a driver as he thought he was. And we end up sliding into the swamp. There's swamp all around off the road here. And Honey and I drive.
It was kind of like a fort based on, there's 4 big roadways, but then it was elevated and then the swamp was lower. So it was, we kind of went off the
berm.
Sure.
Yeah, the side. Nurse Honey and I jump out. And the rest of you stay in the car as it starts to sink. Our trailer lasted an entire day because now it is sunk beneath the swamp with all of our supplies.
Yep.
We are trying to tie a rope around it, do some pulling. Everybody does jump out. We try to pull the rope. And as we are pulling the rope, suddenly the rope is just yanked really firmly from us, and the truck and everything is just pulled right out of the swamp like it was barely an effort. And we turn around and we see on a very large white Clydesdale wearing shining armor and a white cloak, someone with like a holy symbol on their chest, looks to be a paladin. And he says, "Well, hello there. You weren't going to drive right on by without stopping to see us at Fort Bell."
But we were.
That was
our plan. And so that was where it ended. And they, if it is a paladin and such, then it is a good thing.
Right. So that's where we are picking up our game next time. So we're excited to see what adventures we're going to have with the paladins. Maybe.
And if we can get resupplied or...
Right. So that's the game.
Because lawful good isn't always lawful helpful.
True.
Thank you for watching, and please take a moment to like and sub.